Today, I'd like to talk about how important the scope of our motivation is when we do something. The size of our purpose plays a huge role in how committed we are and also in the size of our impact, not just in the word, but also in our mind. One of the biggest factors in sustaining commitment is the size of our purpose. If our purpose is small, maybe very short-term or self-centered, our commitment might be weaker and we might be more likely to give up when difficulties arise. But when our purpose is bigger, when it extends beyond ourselves, our commitment can become so much stronger. Like, think of a purpose that is benefiting not just yourself, but also your family, your company, or more broadly, other people. Then our drive becomes much more solid. But it's not just about commitment. Another very important aspect is that the bigger the purpose, the greater and long-lasting the effects of our actions will be. If our motivation is small, like maybe we want to acquire that object or we want to reach that social status, then when we get that, if the motivation is just limited to ourselves, the moment we achieve our goal, the motivation ends and the effect of our action is completed. It begins and ends with the goal itself. But if our motivation is wider, if we're not just doing something for ourselves, but maybe for our family or the whole of humanity, then the effects of our actions continue rippling outwards and they produce an impact that lasts far beyond our immediate goal. This is because our selfish motivation is just limited to our own personal experience. But a broader motivation continues to produce results, not just externally, but also within our mind. A mind that is familiar with acting for a larger purpose doesn't just experience success. It experiences growth, deeper satisfaction, and a sense of being connected to something that is bigger than itself. That said, a bigger purpose should not be chosen because it sounds better or because we think we should pursue that. It's extremely important to choose a motivation we feel deeply connected with, one that resonates with us, rather than something we pick just because we feel it's the right thing to do. If we try to take on a purpose our mind it's not ready for, then that's not going to be sustainable. Our commitment will feel forced and eventually we will either abandon it or feel disconnected from it. So the key is being honest with ourselves about our current state of mind and expand our motivation step by step. Over time, as our awareness grows, we can broaden our motivation in a way that feels authentic and lasting. So I want to conclude this reflection with one thought that a Nepalese friend once shared with me, which is, what's the best way to make sure that a drop of water never evaporates? You pour it into the ocean. So if our motivation is small, it can disappear very quickly, just like a drop of water under the sun. But if we connect our motivation to something vast, something beyond ourselves, then it might never disappear. So the size of our motivation doesn't just determine our commitment. It determines the magnitude and the longevity of the impact we create.